Ooh.
You are listening to the Lucha Central Podcast Network. And now, LuchaCentral.com presents Masks, Mats, and Mayhem.
I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
Welcome to another edition of Masks, Mats, and Mayhem. I am your host, Justin Outlaw Harvey, and you can find me on social media at JustinHarvey75. You can find the entire show on social media at MMMshow75. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a long time since we've used the 5-box, but it's happening today, right now, on episode 195. Wow. I cannot believe we have done this 195 times. I don't know why we've done this 195 times. It feels like so many that Casey is still doing episode 162 and refuses to come into the future.
I heard on last week's podcast, he got in a car accident and his dick fell off. Have we confirmed that yet?
Yeah, it's the Penta box. I like that. We'll go with that. The Penta box. Oh, no. Oh, Meefloaf, your Australian jokes are not going to go. Wait, is Goetze in Australia or New Zealand?
He's in Australia. He is from Macedonia.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he travels everywhere.
For people listening on the audio version that we don't do anymore, that's Goetze and Rebecca throwing in the comments. If you would like to get your comments featured here on the MMM show, then make one, goddammit. Anyway, so we've got some faces from some places here. First of all, I'm going to welcome in Tony Allen, Lucha Libre aficionado, wrestling expert. Jesus. I've done a couple of podcasts with him and the No Shave Man Cave guys, and he happens to know a whole lot about a whole lot. Say hi, Tony.
Hi, Tony. No, I'm kidding. Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me on the show. I did not make the last show, which was like the comeback show. But I was on the chat, so it had a little bit of input. Happy to be here, and follow me on social media, TonyST.Allen.
And you know what? I'm going to probably throw a couple of those things from last week at you this week anyway, just because I'm curious, and it's our show. We can do whatever the hell we want. At Meefloaf is over there in the corner. Hi, Meefloaf. You're way down there. Hi.
Good morning.
It's
not good morning, Meefloaf. It's 3 a.m.
Jesus Christ, 3 a.m. So we're doing it earlier here for the rest of us because Tony Khan threw a 3-hour show at us last week, and we said we were going to do shit after Dynamite. But so for Meefloaf, is this better or worse?
It's fine. I'll work up.
He's going to work.
The kid was up, so. Boom.
Bottom right, we've got Byron Filibuster over there. How you doing there, Byron? Oh, Fever. I'm sorry, I can't read.
Does that have to do with how I did 10-minute segments last week?
I might have been a little longer than 10.
Well, count next time. We'll confirm. I'm going to keep it under 7 today. Also, at Byron Fever on all the socials. Are we doing hot takes?
We will do them later. We're not going to get into them just yet. Because first of all, we've got to welcome back long-time MMMer. The most recognizable face from MMM show, the JimmyV from Philly. What's going on, Jimmy?
What is up, guys? Glad to be back. Sorry I missed it last week, but I was at Dodger Stadium watching the Phillies beat the Dodgers. So, everything's got to come together at some point. And the Phillies are now in the playoffs. So
we're doing Phillies this week, not Eagles yet. We'll get back to your Eagles later.
Like they just beat the Marlins just minutes ago. So 11-1. So Eagles on Sunday. Don't you worry. But yeah, glad to be back. And it really feels weird to hear that intro again after so long.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it feels weird because Denise Salcedo is still on it.
Exactly.
Denise has gone on to many bigger things than us.
I was just I recognized the voice. I'm like, who's I know this. Like, and then somebody in the chat, internal chat, was like, Denise settled down. I'm like, oh my god, that is Denise Salcedo. Shout out to her.
She's so loud every week.
I was literally shout out is a
We've
good
never decided to turn it down. You built that intro. Why didn't you turn her down?
I did. I wish I knew how to unbuild it. You know, some
Great.
things
Well,
will forever remain a
putting it on
secret.
fire.
By the time we get to episode 200, Byron, we're probably going to need to do a new one. We're going to probably need to
I need to
update
do
some
graphic
things.
as well.
Don't you worry.
Yeah.
I'm sure we can probably find someone else to do the info at some point. Don't you worry.
I'm glad we've got Jimmy here too, because in our Lucha Lookback, I saw him quite a bit in one of the matches that we're talking about in our Lucha Lookback. So
Oh yeah,
I don't know where
definitely
we
get to
were,
that.
because I know we were there. At least I know I was there, Byron. I'm pretty sure you were there for those matches. But
I
I
was
we'll get into that.
definitely there for those matches.
I was there for Chelsea's.
Did we have bad
I-
seats?
I was not there. No, I don't think so. I was not there for sure for the
You,
triad.
the most Josie loving fool I know, you weren't
That's-
You
there.
weren't there for that one.
That's why
I know
have,
where
by
we
the way,
sat
I
for
have
both of those.
I have 17 hot takes just.
I
on
know.
Joshi
I know
wrestling
we were
stuff.
sitting on the other side for.
But no, I know
the
for sure I
Joshi
I
girls.
missed it because I was heartbroken. And every time I watch the clips again, I get heartbroken. I'm like, I was
Question
there
is why
for
did you
every
miss it?
single. I was in New York, visiting
Yeah.
someone.
Anyway,
Ooh.
I'm gonna
Ooh.
get into it, guys. I'm gonna get into
Go ahead.
our first topic. Are you ready, Byron? You ready with your
Oh, he's
8-minute
never ready.
response to a 2-minute segment?
Yeah, I have ChatGPT trimming it down though.
Oh, great. Love that AI. I don't need this thing. I'm hot. I'm going to tell you why I'm hot. I'm going to start off hot with this whole damn thing, and I'm going to big box myself here. Nope, that's not the right one.
Stop showing
Is
Wow,
that
he's
one?
so- he's so-
Hey, I figured it out finally. I'm
Wait.
getting smarter.
The logo's covering most of it, so thank you for
Yeah, just kind of duck underneath it there. Here.
We got to redo our graphics too. Our
Tony
graphics
looks
department.
like the
There we
Ultimate
go.
Warrior.
Oh,
That's
come
much
on.
better for me.
that. Not what I meant.
I hate wrestling companies. I'm going to
Oh,
tell you
God.
why I hate these wrestling companies, because everything that WWE is doing right, AEW can't figure out. Everything that AEW is doing right, WWE can't seem to touch. And for some reason, these guys went head to head with this nonsense this weekend, and they both pissed me off. They both seriously pissed me off. I'm going to say right now, I'm just going to put in my 2 cents, and then I'm going to pose the question for the rest of the guys. AEW absolutely, clearly, far and away won the weekend to me. Doesn't mean that WWE's pay-per-view was bad. It was actually pretty decent, but it did not live up to what Triple H promised. Not by a long shot. He promises big surprises. Okay, Stephanie's going into the Hall of Fame. It's a big surprise because you pulled off a rib on your lady. That's not a big surprise for the rest of us, buddy. I was expecting, Roman Reigns to paraglide in or something crazy. I don't know. Anything other than that. And we'll get into the squash stuff later. Regardless, not a bad showing, but also not on the level of what AEW did. AEW had memorable moments and whatnot, but these guys are scared. AEW is scared. They're booking like they're scared. Tony Khan is booking like, oh my God, I don't know if I can impress our fans enough, so I've got to add one more match in. I need this Mark Briscoe MJF thing. I've got to have Konosuke and Okada in this 3-way with Dorada. Like there's so many matches. I can't remember them all. There were some great moments. There were some memorable things, but it was overbooked. It was overcomplicated. There was too much at AEW, and too much of a good thing can be bad. Why the hell can't AEW spread this stuff out? Why do we have to wait for these pay-per-views to be the thing? Like when Jimmy and Byron and I all went to the pay-per-view in LA, it was great. It was great. Television for the 3 weeks after that pay-per-view was terrible. It was dismal. They got to start stretching some of this stuff out. Okay, yes, they won the head-to-head battle, in my opinion. Even ESPN.com gave the WWE pay-per-view their first a C- rating. Their own reviewer on ESPN.com said they got a C. That tells you everything you need to know about what happened with the WWE. They're overconfident. They're the exact opposite. They're booking like they can't do any wrong. They're booking like their shit don't smell, and they're not loading up the pay-per-view enough. Tonight's Raw was just as good as that pay-per-view. The Raw and the SmackDown last week were probably just as good. They're spreading it out too much. Everything is a premium event to the point where the actual premium event doesn't feel very premium anymore. So why can't these two companies do this? Why can't they get these things together? Anyway, that's the topic that I want to open up to this panel. I want to open up to these guys. I want these guys to get their 2 cents in on whether or not they believe that AEW won the counter programming battle. WWE brought this to them, and I think AEW said, hey, screw you. We're just going to stick to our guns. We're going to move a little bit earlier, and we're going to kick your ass by putting on the best show that we possibly can. I think they actually did that. I just wish the best show could be spread out a little bit more. So who wants to take this one first? Who would love to jump on this topic? It's Jimmy V. He's back and he wants some.
You know what? First off, let me say that I am glad to see a lack of bias by ESPN by judging the Wrestlepalooza show so harshly, because let's be honest, that Saturday was basically what both companies are usually. WWE has the better product, AEW has the better wrestling. It just seems to be a tale as old as time, or a tale as old as AEW. And the thing is, it's like when it came to Wrestlepalooza, it wasn't so much the platform that failed, it was the card and the results that failed. I mean, let's look at the overrun. The overrun was basically overlapped with Hangman and Fletcher versus Cena Lesnar. I'm sure anyone who watched either of those, whether at the same time or separately, can tell you which one was the better match. So just by that, I'm going to tell you AEW won. And Justin, you brought up a good point. Like, these match cards are just way too long. Yes, when we were at Revolution, perfect amount of matches. I still remember when I was at Double or Nothing, the one in Vegas a few years ago, and I felt I was there for half the day. My girlfriend literally almost finished part 1 of Stranger Things the entire time I was gone. That's how long that card was. I mean, granted, yes, I left and grabbed lunch and then we went to the show, but that entire duration from the time I left and then came back, pretty much finished Stranger Things part 1. Yeah, that's a long show. And if Tony can just rein it in and, spread the wealth from the matches, I think we'd be set. Wrestlepalooza was, that's supposed to be their new big PLE, like overshadowing, in between SummerSlam and Survivor Series. You mean Roadblock?
In your house, brother. It's in your house. You're laughing, Byron. Does that mean you want a piece of this next?
Yeah, I'll go next. I'm not scared.
Yeah, you are. Oh,
all
God,
right,
you're wearing a Green Day shirt. Oh, can we skip you?
What up?
That's an automatic skip. That's like a skip in Uno.
I'm wearing a shirt. I wasn't actually born when this album came out because I'm 25. Wrestlepalooza is a dumb name, and I know that because the top WWE stars also think so. Like CM Punk specifically said, he is trying to even avoid saying it altogether. It's a dumb name. It's a hotshot idea to see if they can do something to AEW, and it was whatever. I mean, their own company that bought the streaming thing didn't like the show. It's just unimpressive. AEW, their show is great. I had to watch it on delay over 2 hours because it's so long, but I enjoyed it. I don't know what to say about Wrestlepalooza. I mean, I didn't really care about any of it. I keep forgetting John Cena was fighting Brock Lesnar, or he was supposed to. I guess they didn't really have a real fight. But yeah, it would be great if like the EO Steph match went to AEW, and then like 3 matches from AEW went to Dynamite instead, maybe. But I think the biggest difference is their business models. AEW is inherently a pay-per-view business like wrestling used to be, and it's run by a wrestling nerd who loves wrestling. So he's going to do the best pay-per-views he can, because growing up as a wrestling fan, we watch the shows with friends, we have a party, we have a great time. So he wants to make that the biggest and best. WWE has been giving away their pay-per-views. They don't even call them pay-per-views anymore for years, ever since the network. So that's completely devalued the money. That's completely devalued the incentivization. The whole thing that Punk complained about in AEW is like, no one cares because you're not making money off of a hot angle or match anymore. That's the same thing with WWE pay-per-views. Now they're doing, I mean, okay, it's cool. Oh, you don't have to stay up all night to watch it, but they're really doing less work to make the same amount of money. And so the ideology between both of them, one of them is they're earning it, and the other one, they're just trying to get to the next Raw so they can get to the next TV deal. So that's that.
Brent, did you tell Aubrey I was so sorry about that little thing with the dress? Whatever. I hope you
Don't
told
say
her
it within arm's
really
reach.
sorry about that. Sorry, Aubrey. Sorry. Anyway, Brent was at the show. Glad you had a good time. Rebecca is acknowledging Brent. We're all acknowledging Brent. Brent is a Pennsylvanian. So, okay. Thank you. Good looking out, brother. So let us know how the show was too. If you're driving and texting, make sure you talk to texting Brent.
Let's send him a link for the stream.
So you can tell us exactly how you felt about the show tonight, because I felt like it was actually pretty decent. It's a decent follow-up show. I like some of the angles and the continued storytelling for a change over at AEW. Okay, Tony, are you ready? Or he's like, I'm ready to do this.
All right. First of all, Rebecca, thank you for welcoming to the show. And hi, Brent. How you doing? He's a good friend. So I finally found out what is too much wrestling. 14 matches on the AEW show. That was already insane. I'm gonna be honest, I did not watch Wrestlepalooza. It was very hard. I think I watched the whole thing when Triple H came out and he was like, "This is gonna be the best thing that ever has happened in your life, and we have changed the whatever." I felt like an iPhone sale, like, an iPhone presentation, and we changed. No, it has 4 cameras. That's what I thought it was. It was too much wrestling. Yes, AEW had the better show. It was very long, but they did have the better show. There was a couple of matches that I'm trying to go back because there's so many of them, right? The Eddie Kingston comeback was whatever. I don't even know what happened on that thing. I forgot who else. I was like, what? Máscara Dorada and Takeshita, whatever. Did not need to be on the show. It was so long. And on Wrestlepalooza, I gotta say, I ran to my house because somebody was spoiling me shit on our chat. It starts with O and ends with low. He was spoiling me, and it was like, "Oh my God, Stephanie Baker won the championship!" And I ran to my house to watch the match because she's a good friend, and I'm very happy for her to have made that championship, to have gotten the championship. She deserves it. I don't give a fuck what people say online. She deserves it. She has a very long career. It's not always what you do at WWE. It's your whole career to get there.
Yeah, she's only been doing this for 15 years?
Yes. So she's been doing this forever, everywhere, right? I'm very happy for her. To
put it in perspective, by the way, she has been wrestling a year longer than EO, 3 years longer than Rhea, 2 or 3 years longer than Nia. I mean, she's been like people are acting like she's brand new, but no, she's just new to WWE, guys.
Yeah, she just got to this company. It's not like she has not put in the time and the effort and the
Nothing
sacrifice,
masterful.
because you have to know all the grueling parts of being a wrestler, how their bodies end up, just taking a toll on them. I'm not gonna speak further than that, but I just know that it has been difficult. Why did AEW outshine WWE? If I could put that in a bottle, then I would be having Tony Khan's job, but I don't. But I think that a lot of the effort from WWE, it's on the packaging. It is that, and I was telling everyone on the chat, that we have, I was telling them that it's like watching two different things. It's completely different. And you can feel the shift. And if you watch both shows because you're a wrestling fan, when you change from one company to the other, you go like lasers and fucking smoke and all this stuff, and like proprietary music and stuff. And it doesn't feel genuine anymore. That's what I think. And with AEW, even though they have their own faults, and I'm super critical of them, you can go and watch the show that we used to do before. On the No Shave Man Cave, which is over, but you can go watch it. You will know that I'm critical of them, and they still feel like anything can happen. And even though some of the surprises it's not like Stone Cold's gonna show up or something like that, right? It does feel exciting, and since you're a fan and you have that suspend belief thing, it will get you up your feet and it will make you like it. So at least for this head-to-head, AEW won the battle of the Saturday, or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Meef, tell me you disagree.
No, because I was going to say. So this is the funny thing. So like, this is a good thing about Mask, because I get to hear some points. So on Tony's thing and everybody else talking about AEW and like it's where the best wrestling is, etc. This is where the big thing comes in. So it's the best wrestling matches have happened on AEW, but there was that much wrestling that no one can really remember what the fuck went on. Because it's your sensory overload or whatever you want to call it. It's just trying to recall matches. People are like, holy hell, like what actually went on.
Loves the Thunder Rosa shirt that you can only get from Thunder Rosa at a live show.
Yeah.
Actually,
it's not on shop.aew.com.
Yeah. Like, and the other one too. So go and get it.
But this style over substance is a classic WWE, and the thing of the pay-per-views I totally agree with, because it's basically just another Raw. Or should I say Raw has become another PLE, because it's the same matches, it's the same stuff, it's the same shite. But yeah, that I just loathe all of it.
Tell us how you really feel, Meef.
I mean, to piggyback off of Meef real quick, it's true. Like, there really isn't a difference anymore. For those of you who prefer to watch the international feed like I do through VPN, there really isn't a difference now. Like, they do the same commercial breaks that they do for SmackDowns and NXTs that they now do for Wrestlepalooza. The only difference is if that were on Peacock still, we would be seeing a promo video. But yeah, other than that, it feels the same now. It's just like on a different day.
I gotta agree too with Tony. Like the production quality at WWE is part of what's making it great, but it's also doesn't feel like anything could happen. Like I turn on TNA and I actually like how TNA feels. I feel like I'm watching a wrestling show. There's more hard cam shots. The backstage stuff feels gritty and raw, like you know somebody's going to pop up and do something. AEW tries to do that, but for me, it fails at AEW. Like their segments feel like rushed, day of, something that doesn't have enough production quality to it. WWE's has too much, and I kind of want them to get to where like a TNA is, and even actually NXT isn't half bad with it. I think they do a little too much of that, you know, 10 people in a locker room thing that they do over there, especially with the girls. And I'm kind of over it. But I think that's part of like when I turn on AEW, I'm still saying, damn, there's something missing for me. There's still, I can't always put my finger on it. It's like this talent's exciting. I feel like there's some actual storytelling right now. AEW does have a little bit of an issue with the fact that a lot of stars are out right now. Osprey's out. MJF just like Kenny is God knows where. Jericho's probably leaving and never coming back. Not that people necessarily even want to see him, but he is still a big star, whether anybody likes it or not. Danielson's on commentary, which, by the way, I do not like personally.
No.
I am not a fan of Bry on the commentary. It's not quite there yet. Maybe he'll get it. Maybe he just needs some reps. Some of his stuff is there, but a lot of it is kind of like, oh, you're really pulling this in the wrong direction, brother.
Isn't he a real cheesy dickhead?
I think he had star power, and I think that's, to me, the reason to have him at the desk. And then
but you've got the black and orange right there. You're talking about star power, brother. Come on, Taz.
I know, but it's like they want to keep him as an employee, but they want to also not have him go in the ring, so they want to keep him busy doing stuff.
See,
so I get it. I don't think he's good at it though.
I think it's just it's all just building up to him, like, getting his revenge on the Death Riders. And if that's the only reason he's on commentary, then not worth it.
No, he should never wrestle again. He should have probably retired a year or two before he did.
Didn't he retire? Didn't I saw him at All Out and that was it? Whatever.
Yeah.
I believe that he's on commentary so that he can watch people, so that he can write them up, since he's on the disciplinary committee.
Definitely.
I think he's just out there with his notepad taking notes like, okay.
Also, I think that he retired from full-time wrestling. I think.
Oh, wow. Asterisk on the.
He hasn't retired from wrestling. He's just retired from actually showing up and doing the job every week.
He's got to wrestle Blue Panther, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay, good. Yeah, I just thought something that Meefloaf mentioned, that it was so much wrestling that he got lost, right? But I think that is just a sign of the times. We are in the middle of the AI slop, as they call it, and that is actually going into our social media, which is just like, the doom scrolling. So this is doom scrolling wrestling, kind of. But at the same time, that is what is happening right now. So in a way, AEW, it is mimicking social, like society. So that's what wrestling should be doing. I'm not saying that's okay. I'm just saying that it's just the reflection of what's happening. Sorry, I'm very philosophical. I went.
No, it makes. I get that, and I like that. AEW is the doom scroll of wrestling.
Yes, but I'm not saying that as a bad thing. That's where you spend most of your time right now. Social media. It's just like,
and maybe that's the reason why they have to do so much, because the way that half of it's being consumed is in 30-second clips after the fact, 2 minutes after the match is done.
Also, can we be honest here? How many people are watching their show while on the phone? I feel like a lot of the time I'm watching the entrances, match starts, I'm on my phone. I look up to see if a high spot's happening, go back to the phone. Finish is probably going to happen right now, and finish.
Especially if I don't take my Ritalin. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, you don't need a toilet break anymore. I mean, there's too many matches to be toilet breaking.
I do think, though, with all of the matches on an AEW show, there have been really good pay-per-views where there are different types of matches, and you kind of go for a ride. You get, it gets really intense in some areas and less intense in others. And to piggyback on that, I brought up last week how Casey and I learned that if you pause an AEW pay-per-view halfway through and then drive somewhere and get ice cream and then come back and press play, it's a way better experience. And I think they need to do more of a pacing issue, just like they need overall storytelling. I mean, the stories have gotten a lot better this year, but they still need an overall storytelling improvement, and how they deliver those stories. They need a better pacing for how they pace their shows, so you can catch a break. Like, I'm not saying throw a bathroom break match out after a big match and before the next one, but It's a creative business. Figure it out.
I hit the wrong button.
Yes, you did.
It's one way,
Just
isn't
roll
it?
out.
It's been
Oh, there it
Byron
is.
getting shut.
No, I don't got anything else. of extreme.
Well, just before that, yeah, the thing is that, and I guess to wrap my thoughts here, it's that if you have all these matches and you have all this time to sell stuff, right? That is the only thing that kind of gets me in the way, because if you have all this time, why don't you let us know what's going to happen next week, or like something in between the segments? That's the biggest issue, and that's to Byron's point that the storytelling lacks on that coherence area. That I will need to watch it on Wednesday, because from Saturday to Wednesday, that is a big jump, especially after the pay-per-view. It's not like you're gonna get it on Monday, in which
But
we have been hardwired.
Right, and
to...
here's my issue, and tonight is a perfect example. So I look at AEW and I look at Monday Night Raw. On Raw, you get the Asuka and Rhea match. It's made on the show. It's the headlining match, just like the women headline at AEW. But with AEW, it's just announced at the beginning of the show. And then also our men's champion has a championship match, but his doesn't really matter and hers does. And I'm not really telling you why. I'm just booking 2 super matches for this show that you're supposed to care about, because we're where the best wrestle. So I'm just going to give you wrestling. Whereas at WWE, they go through all this stuff and they have 2 or 3 segments, and Rhea and Io are talking, and then Asuka comes in, and who's better than Asuka? Well, Rhea is better than Asuka, and I can prove it right now. So let's make a match. And then we wait for a segment, and then they say, okay, well, they actually tease it up for a while. Like, is that match going to get made? That'd be great. That's a PLE quality match. And guess what? It is a PLE quality match. Those are 2 women that probably should be, one of them should probably be holding the belt right now, and we all know it. So that match actually means something. It matters. And you build to this thing, and then you have your stuff, your aftermath, where you have your turn and this, that, and the other thing. Same thing that AEW did. They both did the exact same thing in their headlining matches. They had their top women go in there, headline. They deserved to be headlining, but one built a story to it. The other threw it out there, and they both did things with cool little turns and twists at the end of it. It's the exact same thing. As a fan, you're watching it, you're consuming the same thing, but what feels better? The one that has the story going into it, or the one that they just threw it there, and then at the end, this ending that they've been kind of building to? There's a story there.
I'll say this. There's been a story brewing with those groups in WWE, but I don't watch Raw. I did not specifically watch this past one. I know what happened, and I've seen it a whole bunch. I watch AEW. I watched this Dynamite, and I missed maybe 75% of the main event match for Stat. Or I wasn't paying attention to it.
I'm glad that Stat's a champion. I'm glad that she actually has a storyline, because my other worry, and they've done this, I think maybe 40 times, where they've given somebody a belt. Danny Garcia. Does anybody remember his TNT championship run? Love Danny Garcia. Great kid, great wrestler, super fun, can act, can do the whole thing, total package. They had some great stuff building up to it for him. They had some good mid-card stuff for him last year with Jericho, whatever. Then he gets to be the champion, and it's like, who's Danny Garcia?
Yeah. I think
it was amazing. And it was like, there was not a single storyline the entire 6 months he had the belt.
That's crazy.
Nobody knew that he was even the champion.
I think both companies have a bit of an issue with what's that?
I was going to say, he probably didn't even know he was fighting until about a day before, when Tony randomly.
Maybe he did.
Well, I don't know how many matches
he was
even
pitching
got.
left and right. Who knows? All I know is that they didn't make a whole lot out of it, and now they've had to turn him heel, because it was like Danny Garcia, who this guy who was our champion for most of last year. Anyway, I'm going to move on to the next topic. I don't want to stay on this one too long, but I feel like everyone's talking about it, so I'm going to talk about it a little bit too. The Cena jobs to Brock Lesnar on the way out the door. What the fuck? First of all, I love the match. I don't have any problem at all squashing Cena, 8 minutes, kids crying. I mean, They brought the kids out on purpose with Cena just to make them cry. This is old school Vince. This is the most old school Vince thing that WWE has done since he's left. And you can say whatever you want about Vince and all of his shenanigans. We don't like Vince as a person. Not saying that we should.
What did he do?
But
something?
we all know that there are certain
Funny that we
things
mentioned Vince and Brock in the same sentence.
I think you get a subpoena if you do that.
Correct. Anyway, I'm just saying like we can hate Vince all we want, but he programmed everybody on this panel at some point with how we watch wrestling and what we expect from wrestling and how to not expect things in wrestling also. And this is one of those things where I think we talked about this when we actually did an episode last year about Netflix and how WWE has to reprogram people. This is part of the reprogramming of the fans. They had to do this at some point in time. They had to take away the feel-good moment. Like, sure, it's John Cena's retirement tour, but on the way out the door, he got squashed by Brock Lesnar. They could follow it into a story. It could be a one and done. They could just leave it like that. I don't know. And that is wrestling, because the whole point of that is now you want to know.
You're building
now
heat.
People now and think about this. I don't necessarily co-sign bringing back Brock Lesnar at all, but they did it. And they're paying him a bunch of money. He's got a new contract. He's going to be around for a couple more years. It is almost Cena's responsibility to put over this big ticket item that they just invested in. They don't really have a choice. If you're bringing him back and you're paying him the money, because what fights is anyone interested in? People forget Cody beat him last year. He's already fought Roman Reigns. They brought a tractor to the ring. Like, there's no big marquee stuff left. They had to rehabilitate Brock Lesnar as a monster, do it quickly. Cena is the perfect one to do it at this point in time because nobody expected it. But here's where I have a problem. Why the fuck is John Cena getting up and glad handing while the kids are still crying? If we're rebuilding Brock Lesnar, you've done this dirty deed to the fans. You've done the old school Vince thing. You make the guy lose in his hometown. You make the babyface lose at the big moment when everyone thinks he's going to win. You're doing the thing. Why the hell is he standing up, glad handing, standing tall at the end of the segment? If you're going to do it, just do it. Crush him. Have him walk out at least with like on the side of a referee, like leaning and limping, or, you know, going out the loser's lane, or have him stretchered out if you really want to take it all the way, or have the rest of the baby faces come out and carry him out to get to a Survivor Series match or something. But good Lord, why the fuck is John Cena just standing up and walking out on his own 2 feet and high-fiving little kids on the way out the door?
He's the peacemaker, man.
Purpose.
Peacemaker don't sell. The peacemaker.
I should have made
don't
myself
sell,
big
dude.
box for that because I'm on my soapbox for it, but
I didn't miss it. It was fine.
Great. I know you didn't miss it. Here, Byron, why don't you say something in the big box?
I will say, speaking of Brock, hold on, timer. Hold on, I'm gonna set a timer so I become.
But Byron, if you take 5 minutes to set the timer for 2 minutes, you've still taken 7 minutes.
Here we go. Now we're saving time. So, Brock was stale. Him and Cody did a thing, blah, blah, blah. I think a lot of the matchups are super stale at the top of the card in WWE now. Hopefully they get new blood in there. I mean, I love that LA Knight, Eli Drake, is succeeding and doing stuff. I'm not that entertained by him as a WWE sports entertainer, but throw him in the mix, throw him in the world title mix, shake things up. What else? In your notes, you didn't mention this, so I'm prepared to talk about something that actually isn't prompted. So now I'm going to look like an idiot. But you're like, is this the end of Cena or something? And I'm basically like, are they going to job him out? And I'm saying no. I think they've been botching and hot-shotting his whole storyline, his whole retirement year, and it's been sucking on the storyline-wise. So Cena wanted to go AEW route, and he wanted to be the new Sting, and he's tweeting about dream matchups like with AJ Styles, and now he's going and getting cool stuff like that. And basically, Cena is going to get the AEW Sting retirement. Cena, AEW.
Interesting. You think he's going to go out with a win?
No, I'm thinking that he wants to go to AEW, retire, so TK will treat him right and give him a proper send off and let him dive off of, high elevations, things that are
New Jack.
do Aerostar impersonations,
but only on the go home show before the pay-per-view.
Yeah. He's gonna hire it just I don't know. I think Cena going with AJ Styles is sort of a retcon on let's make this a fantastic storyline and then turn it into let's just do a bunch of cool stuff, without big buildups.
All right, your allotted time has expired. I'm going to put Jimmy in the box.
So Justin, you were talking about Cena not basically grandstanding for the fans at the end. He's on his retirement tour. I feel like that's something you just got to do. Sure. I get the whole beaten by the monster thing, but here's my issue with that match as a whole. We've already seen it. In fact, they literally used most of that match as build-up in the video packages on SmackDown for that match. So why are we basically seeing a bunch of F5s instead of seeing a bunch of German suplexes? I wasn't a fan of it because it was basically the same thing. If they had made it a more athletic competition, sure, it would have been a much better match in my eyes. But if this whole purpose was to build up Brock Lesnar, it's like, that doesn't take a lot. It's Brock Lesnar. He literally could have just done a running segment.
Back for the introduction. It's Brock Lesnar.
Anything that basically, I felt like any build-up with that match was just wasted time. I would have much rather seen a build-up between him and AJ that would have been used for Perth to show their competitive build-up, as opposed to, we have to see it all relegated on social media because John Cena doesn't have any more dates until then. So, and also to make Brock look strong, for what? Like you said, he already lost to Cody last year. He already had his feud with Roman. What are you going to put him in now? Because he's obviously not going to face anyone for the title at Mania. It's going to be Punk and Rhodes, and then Seth and Roman again. So I don't know what we're building up to with Brock. If we needed to build him up as a monster, could have fed him anyone aside from Cena. If they wanted to do it for nostalgia, they could have just replayed that match on YouTube.
I mean, that's basically what it was. It was a greatest hits match. It was a replay.
You'll probably get Brock versus Undertaker in Saudi. That'll be the one.
All right, you're up. Since you're talking, you're going.
Okay, yeah, go for it. By the way, Jim's wearing a Wrexham shirt, which is highly offensive.
I'm being offensive all around, baby. Let's go.
They're a Welsh football team that play football in the English second division. No wonder an American thought it was.
You're saying the Welsh aren't English? Nobody in America understands that.
Yeah, me.
I know.
Explain this to all of us.
Christian Bale's from London. Haven't you heard?
Oh, God.
I went to school, so I know what nationalities are.
The thing
Cardiff's just one stop up the metro from London, right?
I mean, to be fair, it's not far because
it's called Tube, by the way.
Tiny,
it's a tube. It's a tube of
never get on the tube
lubricant. So, did you have anything to say about Cena?
I'm enjoying him going on Twitter and kind of people say going in for it for himself. I think whatever, but I like the idea that he did just go, oh fuck it, I'm tired of this shit. Or they're using the thing that they can tell because WWE is very good with that. They're hot on everything. They'll use the fans' reaction and go, right, let's switch things up and we'll pretend Cena's going in for himself to create this AJ match because people are tired of seeing the shite we're doing. So they kind of will use that and lean into it and be proactive, which is hilarious.
I hope so. I mean, look, WWE packages sell shows, man. They do a great job with that. And it's sometimes they're just doing a little thing on TV just to put it in the package.
WWE is Cheech Marine in Dusseldorf.
Cheech Marin.
Cheech Marin, sorry.
Cheech Marine. That's
I
a
knew what
great
he was
movie.
saying.
The thing is, it's spelled
The Marine
exactly
6,
how.
starring
No,
Cheech.
Mirin in Europe.
Yeah, but he's
Marine.
Mexican, so it's
Yeah. It's just that thing. In my
He
head,
once sat in front of me at Lucha Vavoom.
Oh, damn it.
Oh no.
So it's my turn, I guess. I couldn't care less for that match. I think it started. I think I caught up to it like later on, and then Cena was already on the floor, like he already had been beaten. So,
it really didn't take long for that to happen. It was like
it was
we
like
got
8
two
minutes long.
offensive moves.
So who gives? Yeah, I did not care for any of it. I think they did kind of destroy Cena's goodbye tour on my end. I think that it was really good when he was like mean Cena or whatever we call it. That was really good. And then I don't know what's going on. Sorry, I had to give a shout out to my friend Daniel and Daniela, who are putting the Circuit Lives or Mummer Wives on pause to watch this show. So I guess that's good. I don't even know what that is. I didn't watch it. I couldn't care less. I mean, I saw the highlights. Whatever.
That's all you need.
Yes, because it was like 30. You can watch that match in 30 seconds. And does it go anywhere? I guess. Do we care? No. Do I want to see Cena having a good match before he goes? Definitely. Thank you for actually being on the chat, bro. Because you're watching, but you're not being on the show, Danielle. Thank you. So yes, I don't know. I just, but now that I think about it, I don't even know who I want Cena to actually have a final match with anymore.
That's part of the problem. I think that's part of the issue that we're stuck with now is like, it's not that the things that they've done have been so horrible. It's that it's made everything so convoluted. When people look back at this final run of Cena, what are you talking about? Are you talking about he's Rock's henchman for a half a day, but then he turns into evil, heartbreaking
Travis
Cena?
Scott.
Then are you talking about the Travis Scott's finish?
I will always remember Travis Scott.
Like, are you?
Yeah, painfully.
Fiend.
Or it's the
No.
big or fiend. Or is it the R-Truth stuff? Because that worked. That was fun.
And then he
got his
immediately
friend back.
pivoted.
Right. I mean, the pivot was, it was AEW fast hot-shotting on the pivot there. I don't even know how that,
Yeah,
that's
it
the
was
most
so
AEW thing WWE has done in the entire last 10 years.
Now
They
we know
should've
how
put
that
some
feels
of
like
themselves
on the
20
other
matches.
side.
Yeah.
They should have put
I
a
just
wig
wanted
on
to have
Truth.
like 20 matches with like 20 guys who, like, you know, the kind of, I wanted AJ Styles, like, okay, I'm going to say Escobar because that's me, but like just the, you know, LA Knight, all these guys just have, that would have been better than trying to give him some form of storyline. I mean, a storyline with Cody Rhodes, yeah, fine, give something like that, but just give me Cena's going out, he's doing a rundown where it's like almost like his US title thing.
Yeah,
it's like people just kind of come out. He calls out every week. People turn up. I want that.
I mean,
I was going to say,
this is where you miss. I think this is again was where you kind of miss Vince a little bit, just because Vince would have had one bad idea, but he would have shoved it down everyone's throat for a whole year.
But it would have made sense, and it would have followed through.
I think what
Even
we
if you
got
don't
during
like
the Cena retirement run was we started off with Rock and Brian Gerwitz, and
it's also
their
TKO.
ideas.
TKO brought in Travis Scott and made a whole thing with Rock, and Rock couldn't commit or saw that Travis Scott wasn't going to be able to help it follow through. So
that's
he
not
bailed.
what happened, though. What happened was they decided to involve Cena because he was going to do his thing, which came up after that. And then Rock deferred to Cena a little bit, and Cena wanted to go a different direction. So then you got Travis Scott still here, and they've already made Travis promises, so they're still trying to involve him. Cena's trying to do his thing his way, and Rock's like, yeah, dude, that's John Cena. Like, I'd love to come and take over, but at the same time, like, give the dude his fucking run, and I'll sit the fuck out. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, y'all paid me either way. I got my 40 mil, so.
Okay,
but like
on that. Go ahead, Byron.
I was gonna say, like what me brought up. You know, I've been watching wrestling for a long time. I really tuned out during the ruthless aggression era because I did not like Super Cena. I did not like Randy Orton getting in 90% and then Cena getting in 10 and then winning after like getting electrocuted, run over by a car, stabbed, shot, all these things. And then he hits a move, does a loose STF and wins.
To be fair, there's 5 moves.
Yeah. But I really did enjoy that US title open challenge. I enjoyed that. And so I agree with bringing that back. I also think there's a little bit of unfortunate circumstance that KO is out with injury the entire time. If he was back, he could have done 3 to 5 months with KO. That would have been good. It just would have been.
I think that something here it became kind of evident when we were talking about. Well, so some people complain a lot about the fact that Tony Khan makes all the decisions, but who is making the decisions in WWE? Because they change paths every single time. It's not even like an algorithm thing. It's just like a feeling. Like I feel this will be relevant this month, and they go with it. So there's really no direction. So when we watch something, and I think that's what it goes into this stuff, especially with Cena, because they wanted him to do everything. Also, and I just thought of this, Cena worked for Warner.
Yes.
He doesn't work for Netflix, right? So you might be on the right path. He might end up in AEW. We don't know.
Well,
they got enough money.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
But yeah, that's the biggest problem. There's one place where all the direction is at one area, and the other one has directions from everywhere else. Like everybody can have input. TKO, Netflix.
You just inspired a dream match. You just inspired a dream match for me at the next Wembley show, and it's going to be main evented by Captain Insano versus Peacemaker.
Oh God!
Wow!
Book it, Tony.
Vigilante has to at least be ringside. All right, you see the banner has changed. That means it is time for some hot takes and sausage. I'm going to jump right into this because I have an issue. I love Chris Statlander as a champion, but first of all, she didn't do a whole heck of a lot in the match. Maybe when they were laying it out, they told Chris she was going to win, and then all the rest of the girls were like trying to figure out how to get their shit in, and Chris was like, "Okay, whatever, I'm taking the belt. I don't care."
Sounds about right.
I have a feeling that might be what happened, but who knows? I wasn't there, so
I will say the 3 superplexes felt like someone won an argument rather than rather than someone thought it made sense.
Yeah, it was a little.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah, but here's my real pet peeve. Here's my real pet peeve. You do a 4-way, okay? And yet you still have Tony Storm take the pin from Chris, which I don't necessarily mind. Like, look, if you want to elevate Chris a little bit and you want to make it definitive of like, no, she beat the champ, but also then why do a 4-way? And my whole thing is I feel like it does a disservice to Chris Statlander because I think that you get more story. You get more story with the hot character, which is Tony Storm. It can give Chris the better rub, even if she beats her 3 weeks from now on a Dynamite to solidify the win and really send it home. But I think what we're doing here, you don't see Tony Storm tonight. Tony is just riding off into the sunset, or she's taking a break, or she's nursing a little bump here or there, whatever the heck is going on that we don't necessarily know about. But the problem to me is this does not actually give Chris Statlander the rub. She gets the pin on the champion, but that ends too much of the story. And again, it goes back to my issue with AEW that storytelling is the issue. People understand the matches. They understand the match dynamics. They are the best wrestlers. It is where the best wrestle. It actually is. That's not the freaking problem. The problem is some of this sense needs to start sensing because the math ain't mathing. We've got this great woman who's worked really hard. She's put in the time, and her storyline coming out of it is a Wheeler Yuta thing to set up a little turn on them and the Death Riders and to get Marina Shafir into the program. I get it. At least she has a story, but at the same time, Tony Storm is the big name. Tony Storm is where you want the rub. Just the pin doesn't do it. We need to think these things through, guys. If she gets the pin on somebody else, then tonight you have Tony Storm talking some shit about you didn't pin me and blah, 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 blah. It actually gives Chris more of a rub. That's my hot take. I'm salty about that finish. There's no reason for a 4-way with Tony taking the pin because it hurts Chris Statlander.
I have a counterpoint.
Point your counters.
Of course he does.
Counterpoint. So I think the 4-way helped disguise the win, make it more unpredictable. That's not storytelling or promotion. Or anything like
I said
that,
they're good at making the matches.
Yeah, so like I'm saying, that's more of the AEW thing where you're looking at what's gonna be more unpredictable, and how can we get Stat to be champ in the most unpredictable way.
I popped.
I didn't know she was going to win, and then when she won, I was surprised, and then the crowd chanted, "You deserved it," but like no one expected her to win. So I see that, and I also think I had an issue with Stat and Hangman having title defenses tonight. I don't think after those matches on the pay-per-view, you should have title defenses right away. I think there should be a cost for things. Just like I love Hangman. I love the whole storyline with him. And a lot of that has been about the cost of your actions, the cost of your matches, stuff like that. And he had that big match over the weekend with Fletcher. And then he shows up with some tape and has another title match. Then what it diminishes. So
it diminishes Fletcher too, who put on a phenomenal show.
And then what did Fletcher do tonight?
Then Fletcher comes out, in a suit, but without a limp. And so I get why Tony Storm lost, and she's very dramatic. If you haven't noticed, I get why it makes sense to me why she isn't there. And to your point, that storyline needs to be addressed with her and Stat. But I think that's like the next or the one after that program.
It's not even that it needs to be addressed. It's just that Chris Statlander, I think, can be a great champion, but we have to understand the importance of Chris Statlander.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, Wheeler Yuta does not exactly a champion make. Her feuding with Wheeler Yuta is not going to get her over.
Tony likes him, so Tony got to get him in TV.
Yeah, whatever. Anybody who else has got a hot take for me? Who wants to take one? Okay, get it.
Fuck Daniel Bryanson. He's in it. He thinks that Mercedes Moné, who is bland as fuck, is better than the Ultimo Dragon.
Oh.
So,
I think I appreciate
No,
that.
Byron. No, there is no counterpoint to this.
No, it's not a counterpoint.
1,000% horseshit.
Ultimo is way better.
Into the sun.
Ultimo is way better, but I like using this whole thing to get Ultimo as a 10 belt person, whatever it is. The guy who's held the person
10 belt person.
Yeah, the person who's held the most championships at once. I think it's because we've all seen the picture. We've all seen Ultimo in his prime. I've seen Ultimo out of his prime too. But I think it's a good way to introduce that to the current generation. She's doing her thing, but they're basically shouting. Never out of his prime.
That man is just sitting around smoking cigars.
I stand corrected. I apologize, Ultimo SI. Sorry. And I apologize to you, Meef. I have a quick hot take that's 10 seconds.
Go for it.
Bullshit.
They did a show in Pittsburgh without their top Pittsburgh star.
Lee was there.
Oh, Lee was fucking awesome. Great job. There was no Britt Baker. And by the way, it wasn't missed. No offense, respectfully.
Well, maybe it was garbage day, so she'd already been taken out.
Moving on.
Byron, these are harsh words, man. What if Britt's a friend of the show?
No, I said respectfully. Listen to the whole thing.
That makes it okay.
She can pour gasoline on herself.
Anyway, so it's always
okay. Who wants to follow that? Jimmy, you got a hot take?
I'm bypassing my hot take to move on to the next segment.
You got it.
Okay,
this
I have
guy.
one. Yeah, I guess. So I wasn't here for the Saudi Arabia situation you guys were talking about. I guess I can talk about both AAA and Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, absolutely.
But for the
I was going to ask you about the AAA one for sure anyway, because I wanted your opinion. But
for the Saudi Arabia part of this segment, I have to bring a different character into the show. You'll see.
Oh, wow. We're doing...
Tin hat.
This is
This is amazing.
tinfoil, Tony. It looks like a helmet now. What the fuck? You guys know that there are index in the world, right? That tell us when something is gonna fucking crash, like the economy. So there is the strip club index that tells us that if people are not spending money at the strip club, then there's no money, extra money in everybody's pocket. So what I think is happening with the Saudi Arabia thing that you guys are not aware of, well, maybe Meefloaf because he lives in UK, but he's still part of the Anglo-Saxon countries, whatever. And I am out of the bubble because I live in what is called as a semi-peripheral state. So that means we're not third world country. We're just in development in Mexico. What happens is that no one by 2027, I believe, is going to be able to afford a WrestleMania style event in the United States anymore. And they are getting ahead of that. So that's why they moved it to Saudi Arabia. And this makes absolutely sense. Like Liga MX, which is Mexico's soccer league, their biggest matches now are going to happen in the United States because that's where the money is at. That's because we have two teams that cost as much as UK teams, and they don't play as well anywhere near as well as UK teams.
Tony, you have to tell us who you support, though.
What?
You have to tell us who you support.
Oh,
Which team?
In Mexico, Tigres. Yes, I live in Monterrey, so
Tigres.
what? I live in Monterrey, so don't come and get me. So I think that's what's going on. They're getting ahead of that economic crash that it will happen around that time, and nobody's gonna, because now the only people that can pay tickets, even right now, there was this sign that said, "I sold my house to get these tickets." He was not joking. That's probably true, and probably house prices are very low. They probably got it to BlackRock or whatever. So yeah, I think that's what's happening, and they're just getting ahead of the situation. Team Full 20
because they spent all that time. Obviously, you saw the Money in the Bank promo with Cena. Like, they've been courting every single major president of countries. London mayor, because basically London's so at this point. And they've been going around the world shopping WrestleMania for quite a while with these. We like these national pay-per-views, and it's good and it is great, But like,
they really wanted Wembley
with a
too,
purpose.
but London was like, "F you, pay us. We're not paying you." Like Tony Khan gave us things. You don't come here and get things from us. That's not the way this works. And they were like, "Well, shit, we really want to come there. We really want to kick that AEW numbers ass, but Saudi Arabia is going to give us, I don't know, our own country to come there." So I guess
they are paying Tom Brady $30 million to play one flag football game.
Yeah,
that's I think that's what he got in the first 5 years of his contract, or probably the first 7 years.
You look at what they've done for boxing. With boxing, they've managed to put on all the fights that all the fighters were dodging.
Oh, that's right. Yes,
they're starting to put them together. What they're doing for boxing is absolutely insane.
Isn't Tyson coming back for another one?
Yeah, I'm fighting Tyson next week.
I mean, for whatever he's getting,
nice.
why
That'll
not?
be a big payday.
And I'll watch him again. Why not?
Yeah, that's fine. Oh, Tyson and Mayweather are fighting. Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that what?
Yeah. Not each other though, are they?
No, yeah, they are. Yes.
Oh God.
Oh, don't worry, they won't be fighting each other.
Yeah. Did you see the tweet by Mike Tyson about Jake Paul's fight?
He said something.
Have you not seen it?
I've seen the fight.
What, the fight?
No. So Jake Paul was chatting shit about being the world's best boxer and all this other shit again. And no one's giving him respect. So Tyson replied, "You paid me an extra 10 million to lose."
I mean, anyone going back, and if you watch the fight, it's obvious. It is
of
so
course,
obvious.
he's holding his.
It was
so he don't
great
kill him.
storytelling for the heel to go over. It was great storytelling. So Tony, let me ask you. Tony, let me ask you just real quick.
Yes.
AAA a la WWE is good, bad, ugly, and different. How are you feeling thus far at our quarter year check-in on WWE buying AAA? Does it feel like a good thing to you, or does this feel like a catastrophe?
Not a catastrophe. I'm not gonna take it that far. I mean, I haven't seen anything that will be like, oh, let me call the La Presidenta de Mexico and get the company back. I mean, I don't think. I'm sure that there are really good contracts right now for wrestlers. I have not seen any difference. Like I go to local AAA CMLL shows all the time, and I have not seen the difference yet at those. Oh well, yeah, I have seen it. They had El Grande Americano on a random show here in Monterey, which was pretty cool. And
That's
I
awesome.
think that
Which El Grande Americano was it?
the one we like.
Okay.
Yes. By the way,
from Sprockets. El
yeah.
Grande.
By the way,
The least American Americano of all of them.
Again, why WWE here? WWE, I will give you this one for free. Why aren't you doing a promotion with Starbucks? Grande Americano, come on, motherfuckers! It makes itself up. Come on, just do it. Put it on for like Christmas, whatever. Anyways,
I can see that.
Yeah. And Tyler Bate would be Tall Americano, and Pete Dunne would be Venti Americano.
Venti.
And...
yes, there you go. So, but
I do love that all the Europeans are playing the American guy who's stealing Mexico's identity. I don't know what kind of meta universe we're living in, but something about it is working now.
I'm going to give you the insight on this. I'm going to give you the insight on this. So we had an Austrian emperor in Mexico at one point. So we don't know the difference between Austrians and Germans. It's just too fucking close. So we like this guy a lot. No, I'm kidding. No. He has done exactly what he's supposed to do. He comes here, sings Mexican songs badly, horribly, I guess. But he endears himself to the public. Where El Hijo del Vikingo, holy shit, that guy cannot buy. Hey, if he walks in the middle of Mexico City, he probably gets stabbed. I'm not even kidding. Like he is like, we have this figure in Mexico, La Malinche, which is the traitor for when the Aztecs lost the empire. So that is what he's compared to right now. So it's insane. It's insane, and I've seen it in real time happening. Like I seen the people be like, we're excited. We don't like this guy. And Alberto, it's now doing reality TV on a competition show in Mexico. So it's like he doesn't even care anymore. And they will eventually need to bring him back because otherwise this is wrestling. That's what will happen. It will have to happen.
Look, Fabi Apache is the darling of AAA right now. As soon as I saw that, I was like, okay, yeah, the gates are wide open. Anything can happen at this point.
Yeah, the only thing I think with the Alberto thing is that the Saraya has repeatedly said she wants to come back now.
But I gotta say, when I go to the CMLL shows, and the buildings are from the 1930s, and they do have really good merch now, but like you still get a torta. Everybody knows here what a torta is?
Yes.
Yeah. It's not a hamburger, right?
No, it's not a chubby girl that you can date. No. I
know her too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a sandwich. I was like, Meefloaf was like, what? Think Mexicans.
No, I know what a torta is.
Yeah. Well, so you get it's a sandwich. You still can get those. That is what I want when I want to watch Lucha Libre. That is
go around the corner and get Super Astros.
I want a caguama, right? Well, of course in a tall glass because you cannot throw stuff at the anymore. And I want a torta, and I want people to be yelling stuff. And it seems so. AAA now is starting to feel, at least on the pay-per-views that are for the American market, they starting to feel a little bit sterile. Like they're starting to feel, it's just NXT, and that will start breaking them apart. If they're able to bring both the color, you cannot have Rey Mysterio pump the crowd at every show and be like, yeah, this is Lucha Libre. No, bro. Lucha Libre is happening here in, Arena Suleiman in La Indepe in Monterrey. That's what that Lucha Libre is happening. That's what is coming up. So I will allow it. I will let it happen because it's a beneficial in contracts. It's not diluting absolutely Lucha Libre, but we have two different absolute products, even worse than AEW and WWE. Like the separation, it's abysmal. There is nothing nowhere near.
Well, we'll check back with you in a year and see if you're eating cotton candy with a Clamato and a $160 replica mask instead of the $5 one that you can get right now. Or
Yeska. Oh my god.
Oh, we got that mask. We
Yeska.
got the El Matemáticos mask in that time. We got that together. That one. Yeah.
The Lucha blog mask.
Yes, exactly. All right. Speaking of Lucha, I have changed the ticker. It is now time to talk briefly about Lucha Underground because it's one of our favorite subjects here on the show. This whole show exists because of Lucha Underground.
It's nearly 10 years.
This week, I understood the assignment. Brent, you mean you're from her part of the world?
Aren't they like neighbors?
I don't know. Brent must want his teeth to be
piss on a lawn, Brent. Piss on her.
Imagine if he has a dental emergency. And
I know. In Pittsburgh, jeez.
Don't burn that bridge, dude.
Careful, Brent. So this week, based on a few of the things that I saw on the pay-per-views, I really wanted to talk about something that I don't even know if we had a chance to talk about it back in the day. Pentagon Dark in one of these matches, and just Pentagon in the other match, not Pentagon Jr., just Pentagon in the Hitakori match. Pentagon got to fight the ladies. He got to fight 57 Joshi wrestlers at once, all the best ones. Right, Byron?
The best ones, the Stardom 3.
That you weren't there for. Sorry.
I wasn't there for. That's a good reminder.
You missed this.
You know what? It wasn't worth it.
What?
No, we know it wasn't worth it.
The reason I was out of town.
Yeah.
The reason
we can look back now in hindsight. Yes, we can.
Now,
not even in hindsight.
Don't
not
worry
even in
about
hindsight.
it.
I would have told him it then.
We all make those mistakes.
No, I felt awful.
You're young
too.
You were young and vibrant, and you know.
No, Tony. No, Tony. He had to fly somewhere.
Oh wow!
He had to fly somewhere.
Don't worry. So
I got on an
we're getting
airplane
sidetracked
to make a
here.
mistake.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. This might be the entire point. Tony. I don't know.
No, it was
the ridicule of Byron might be the entire reason this show.
No one's life choices.
I'm throwing you a rope, buddy. Don't hang yourself.
No one is interested in making fun of me. People don't
you
find that entertaining.
You throw him a rope, he'll tie himself up.
Okay, so let's tell people
I don't even
what
know
the
how to tie
assignment
knot.
was this week.
I will say this.
Maybe that's what
there was a reputation, an unofficial rule that if you were a female wrestler and you had a kick-ass match with Pentagon, Penta El Cero Miedo, Pentagon Dark, Pentagon Jr., whatever he's calling himself, if you had a kick-ass match and you had long hair, WWE would sign you. These are the matches. Why?
Yes. So the assignment was to watch the Penta versus Hitakori, also known as Io Shirai, also known as Io Sky.
Because Americans are too stupid.
And if you haven't watched Lucha Underground and you don't know that Io Sky and Pentagon had a competitive match with each other, they just had a match. And this is the beauty of Lucha Underground. There was no violence against women's issues. There was no and this is actually more empowering for women, that attention wasn't called to it. These women were brought in to literally be assassins, and he was the guy that they were supposed to take out. And so that's the storyline. They're assassins. He's trying to stop the assassins, so he has to kick their asses. He has to run the gauntlet of these women, and he does. And it's a match, and it's a great match. And it is so depressing that no other promotion can seem to find a way to pull this off on a regular basis. There was a ton of these. And so that one was season 3, I believe, right? And then Chelsea Green comes in for a short run as she's kind of transitioning out of her hot mess Laurel Van Ness character back to Chels or whatever she was doing on the indies. before she went to WWE or whatever. So she does this brief little stopover in Lucha Underground and has the banger of all bangers, one of the best matches of her career. You know, Penta definitely based for her and carried her in a few spots, but dude, she put in the work. I know for a fact she was there running the match with him for 4 hours that morning. I mean, she did a great job, and the match is amazing. So do yourself a favor out there, people. Look up Reclusa versus Pentagon Dark, or look up Pentagon versus Hitokori, which I believe just means ninja assassin, I think is the translation of that word. The writers from Lucha Underground, DeJoseph and Roach, the Chris's, I mean, their names were amazing because Reclusa just means spider, basically, right?
Yeah.
It's a type of spider, yeah. But it also means when you're in jail, like somebody puts you in jail, you're a reclusa.
She had spiders on her tights.
Yeah,
and that's it. And she's just a spider, like not like what Tekla's doing or anything super cool. Just like, no, you need a name, and you're
now
just
that Tony's pointed this out, though. When you look at the storyline of Reclusa, it makes sense because she was kidnapping a sexy star. So well done, Tony. Very good point.
Yeah,
Spanish. I wish she had kidnapped her and got her to get her gait a little bit better on running those ropes, but that's a whole other story. And it was only an 18-foot ring, right? It was a small ring. I think it was an 18. Anyway, here's my question for you guys. Which match was more impressive to you?
Oh, Jesus.
I think Io Shirai did more things in the ring, but honest to God, at the time, Chelsea was less experienced and should not have been able to pull off the match she pulled off, in my opinion. Like, I was really, really impressed with what Chelsea did.
Yeah, those are so like they're definitely coming from two different sets of expectations. One of them was hey, Stardom was doing a show in Los Angeles, and was it cheerleader Melissa who got EVW and whoever to like check out the show? And then like, hey, they're in town, they're not booked on these days, why don't you get 3 of the best women's wrestlers or some of the best wrestlers in the world on your show, and then put them with your hottest, talent, Penta. Okay, that's a no-brainer. And then they go and then they deliver. They did a
back
match.
to back.
They did a gauntlet match that told a great story too. They were all competitive in their own way, but they all did something different, and it was great. Whereas the Chelsea was just there to be a second for Marty in a short-lived like addition to his storyline in the 4th season, which some people have opinions on the 4th season stories.
It was very white.
It was extremely white. It was whiter than my face right now in the reflection of it.
I went to every single episode though, and I thoroughly enjoyed myself, so I can only complain so much. But it was very white.
Well,
Wade Barrett is the overlord of the Aztec underworld. Wade Barrett. I love Wade Barrett.
Here's my here's my defense.
Let's take all of Spanish culture and all of the mysticism of 4 years of this show and put it at the feet of Wade Barrett.
He's the cigar man.
At best, it should have been a Spanish guy.
Yeah. Okay. Well, did he get to speak? Was he going to do an accent? Maybe he'd speak Spanish.
Oh my God! What?
It's DJ writing it.
Wade Barrett doing his best. Speedy Gonzalez would have made it all better, Byron. That would have made it perfect.
Just FYI, everybody, I have when people find out, I've not watched the full length of Lucha Underground. I was having an awesome time in Canada and then in Playa del Carmen, so I did not watch wrestling at that time. So this was probably, I've watched bits and pieces because of my line of work, but I had watched these 2 matches before, so but I did not know about this, so I'm gonna have to revisit, and we're gonna have to talk about this.
It's
the last scene of the entire series, isn't it?
It's the very last scene, and it was a great reveal. And if they'd come back for a season 5, they could have done some things. But
that's the thing. Season 4 season 4 was good in needing the season 5 payoff, but when you don't have the payoff, then it's just a bunch of shitty stuff happens from
Was this
shitty people.
produced
Hager
by
beating
Warner
everybody.
HBO Max canceling shit?
I mean, look, we went out the door with Wade Barrett being the big boss. We went out the door with Kevin Cross coming in and being the leader of a tribe of, a white dude and some slightly brown people. And we went out with Jack Swagger as the champion. And again, I've said it on this show before, and I'm not afraid to say it again. I like Jack. We've had lovely conversations, Jake Hagar. I do not agree with his politics, even partially, but I would tell him to his face and duck. but at the same time, like, as much as I like the guy, and I talked to him for 3 hours the night of Ultima Lucha, and because Cross had to take Marty the Moth to the friggin' hospital because he stretchered himself with that stupid glass match, whatever the fuck
He was
doing.
wrapped up like, it was so funny. He's all wrapped up.
And he did not
in
want to go to the
McAllister.
hospital, guys. And
No.
Cross is looking at him like, bro, like, I think that's all Cross said to Marty for like 15 minutes was just the word bro over and over again. Like, bro.
He wanted Marty to enjoy his moment as well, because he main evented with Penta and had a great match. So he wanted him to enjoy it a little bit before they went and saved his life medically.
Repeatedly saved his life because he died like 5 times that night.
He wanted to do like 10 more minutes after the glass, which is in the match we're talking about. The match we're talking about when EO jumped off the platform with the crossbody was awesome. And also the Destroyer.
Like, who comes into Lucha Underground
actually
for their
won.
first day and says, hey, I want to jump off of that thing? Who does that?
I think she said it in Japanese, though.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I agree.
And got
She
thrown
did say
headfirst
that.
through the chairs.
Also, I feel like we're also forgetting that there is a, to me, very memorable meme of Byron and me in the crowd with our reaction to the Mexican Destroyer on the apron. To this day, And
if you're looking at the footage, Jimmy's wearing a blue shirt.
Gray.
What was their blue shirt, Jimmy?
No, it was the gray shirt that said, "Where is Casey?"
Oh, it was the Where's Casey shirt.
We wore those season 4. Casey boycotted season 4.
Where is Casey?
I was wearing I was wearing a blue tank top during the Stardom match.
That's the Stardom match. Okay. Well, I knew one of these you're wearing something blue. I was like, what? That's Jimmy.
Get your story straight, Justin.
I mean, it's been a while. It's been what, 8 years?
Oh, God,
has it been that long?
I think I don't know if you remember the Cena guys, but
9 years at least.
But before that match even happened, or before the debut of Reclusa, Chelsea did do a dark match as the Hot Mess. So we saw her pulling up with pink hair, and immediately I was like, Chelsea Green's here? Then she worked the dark match, and all of a sudden, like the next day, she was just brunette Reclusa, and we're like, okay.
Yeah, it was a shock. It was a shock. And again, I feel like she retired the Hot Mess character like a couple months after that, right?
I mean, it came back in spurts. Like she did a half Hot Mess at the very first All In.
Mm-hmm.
And that might have been the full retirement of the character.
I think so. I think you're correct about that. Well, it was super fun. I think everyone should go watch those matches, and I can only hope that we get some rematches.
Yeah, I will say,
could WWE ever conceive
Chelsea
of doing
says
that?
no.
No.
You guys don't think so? Really? Didn't we even had like a mixed tag match championship at one point?
There was the mixed match challenge, but
they can't touch.
There was they stopped it. But Chelsea has gone on quite a few podcasts saying that she doesn't want to mess with the magic of that first match, because doing it again, whether it's good or not, is not going to do it any justice.
Well, doing it in WWE style, But I do want to say that Chelsea Green has been knocking it out of the park with the sports entertainment, just absolutely amazing. But if you want to see her working, this is what you want to watch.
This is the one. It really is. And honestly, she has done phenomenal. I don't know why they don't do more with her, but at the same time, maybe they shouldn't. Because they can literally just hand her anything. Like, hey, Chels, go down to NXT for 3 weeks and do something with Ethan. Okay, I'll knock that out of the park. Mm-hmm. Hey, Chels, do this program and get Zelina Vega over for. Okay, fine, I'll knock that out of the park. Hey, Chels, be a inaugural champion for us with this belt and get this belt over for us. Okay, hey, I'll knock that out of. Like, it does not matter what they give her.
She's one of the very few people that benefits from like multiple losses in a row.
Yeah. It doesn't hurt her. Half the time it raises her stock because she plays it the right way. I can't even explain it. Like by all means, she should be the lowest of the low card, waiting for the 24/7 belt to come back person in WWE for all that they've done for her. But what she's done for herself has been phenomenal. And I just hope they keep it going. All right, so time to get to the last segment of the week. It's time for pops and drops. What did you like? What did you hate this week? If you have something great, if you don't, whatever. I'm going to start with a pop first and foremost. I got to give it up to Steph Vaquer.
Yeah.
And there were some other honorable mentions of pops of the week, but when I went back and I looked at this pay-per-view, and I'm thinking to myself, think about who and what was on the card and what was going on. You have all this pomp and circumstance. You got Triple H talking about all these surprises and how this is going to be the next big PLE and this, that, and the other thing. You got ESPN coming in. You got Stephen A. Smith talking about WWE. You've got Brock Lesnar on the card. You've got John Cena on the card. You've got Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre. You've got CM Punk. You've got a returning AJ Lee on this card. You've got Becky. You've got Seth. You've even got the hot new things with the Bronze coming on the show. You've got Jey Uso, who can make 130,000 people stand up and do this crap. And yet, somehow, this little girl from Chile actually stole the entire show. She outshined every person on that whole roster, old to new. She stole the entire show. Not a big story going into it. Babyface versus babyface match. No kind of heat whatsoever. And she still stole the show. So it absolutely has to be my pop of the week. I love a lot of things that happened. I love MJF going CMLL and coming in and doing WWE. MJF deserves a big bow down for the stuff that he did this week too. But the pop of the week for me is absolutely got to be Steph Vaquer and being your new women's world champion at WWE, and the fact that she did it and made everyone love it, and she stole the show. She will be the most memorable thing from the inaugural ESPN pay-per-view for WWE.
It's crazy. What was it, a couple years ago? Like, she did the Mercedes match, was strong, got on the radar, did an AEW thing.
That was a year and a half ago, by the way.
A year and a half ago, she was a top CMLL talent, which basically, in the grand scheme of things, compared to where she is now as a global entertainment brand, she was like kind of just a big fish, a medium-sized fish in a super small pond, doing her thing.
Yeah, she was in Chicago defending like the New Japan Strong belt or something, right?
Yeah, and like just happy to be doing that, you know. And then she has a match with Mercedes, and that got her some notice. Some people noticed her, and she did a great job. But still, it's just like it was whatever. And all of a sudden, a year and a half, and now she is an extremely valuable global brand, because that's what you are as a superstar in WWE. You're part of a branding.
And one last thing I got to say about Steph. that I couldn't do myself, that most of these other wrestlers don't do, that Pentagon hasn't done in a decade. Her English a year ago was horrifying. Was like, oh my God, how is Steph going to do this? What are we doing here? Steph is never learning this language. I mean, she was not bad at English. It was not even fathomable for her to speak English. She is cutting full ass promos in English now. They're good. They have passion. It works. Like, she has put in the work. And from what I understand, she's doing, like, they asked her to do English classes once or twice a week. She's doing them like 5 or 6 days a week.
Good for her. Her promo about her
just
dad.
Putting in the work.
Her promo about, like you said, there's no storyline, this or that, but she has had a built-in inherent story for her as a fighter.
What's character? Character arc and story is slightly
different. Yeah. And you bite into, there's enough to bite into and chew on. You root for her. She has an underdog story, and now that she's on top, which once you win the title, like we saw when Cody had a great couple years chasing, and it was super interesting and fun, and then he wins, and then you're like, okay, now what? And like, but she comes out, she just won, and then she brings out her dad in the audience, and you're like, she's even more compelling now. I want to root for her even more now. I don't care who she's gonna fight. It was fantastic.
I saw Stephanie for the first time in Arena Mexico. I think it was in 2021, I think. And she did this crazy, like, over the top rope flip to the outside. And she doesn't do that anymore, by the way. I don't think she does that, but no, for real. Because why would you? And and I saw her, like, leap, hands open, and just, like, do the, like, cheerleader flip, but to the outside. And it was like a complete moment. I was like, holy shit, she's gonna be huge. Because when she got up, the crowd popped so hard. And it was this moment right after the pandemic when Arena Mexico was, like, empty. But the people that were down there, like right now, you can, like, if you look at the people that were at Arena Mexico at that time and right now, it's it's like two different companies. And when she got up and everybody just, like, went nuts, I was like, oh my God, she's going to be huge. She's going to be amazing. And I was just very happy. I wish somebody hadn't spoiled it for me, so I was going back home. But
I mean, come on. I'm sorry. How many times I say I'm sorry?
Okay.
You'll be fine. You're fine.
So, yeah, that was a very... Although I was expecting it, right? I was expecting... What got my suspend belief this week was MJF's match with what's his name? Oh, I forgot.
Mark Briscoe or Mystico?
Mystico.
Yeah,
Mystico.
I still want to see that.
It's good, man.
Please go watch it, everybody. Yeah. Please go watch it.
I just watched it yesterday. It's great.
As a Mexican national of mixed heritage. Yes, it got me emotional, and I think I texted everybody on our chat group. There is this power that the song Mystico song has. He wins, and then the song comes out, and you see grown men cry. Like, if please do that in the United States. I don't know if it's gonna have the same impact, but they gotta start feeding it into the AEW program. Like, if they do that and they do that in Los Angeles or Chicago, holy shit! Oh my God! Please have grown men cry at a Mystico win with a song about a girl missing out his dude. That is the craziest part, because the song is about he was just on the video because that's when his popularity was rising up. So that's what he's, like, related to the song, but it's just amazing. And it feels, it's one of I know it's gonna get crazy, but I will identify when, like, Stone Cold's glass shatter, you will hear it, you'll be like, so emotional. It's the same thing, but in a down up kind of feeling. You start crying, like, oh my God, he won, he didn't lose his mask, although we have like seen half of his face already. Whatever. Yeah, it was great. But also Stephanie Becker.
But also Stephanie Becker. Anybody else got a pop of the week?
I got a pop.
Okay.
I feel like I have to say this because even though he's the top star of his company, I feel like I'm the only one of my friends who likes him. But Hangman Adam Page.
Who?
Hangman Adam Page.
Who's that?
AEW
Is that guy that
Men's
speaks Spanish?
Champion.
Is that?
Oh,
He
that's
does-
right. It's
he does
the
speak
other
Spanish.
popular Mexican wrestler that Tony
He does
Khan
speak
likes.
Spanish. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you
His
shouldn't have done that
promo was
for an old-
awesome.
I'm
No,
sorry,
I
Byron.
love-
Go ahead.
I loved-
You
no, I loved how,
you just
uh,
beat your nerve right there. So
I loved how Danielson sorry, I love how Danielson
So you love Danielson
started-
too, is what you're saying.
Yeah, prick.
You love Danielson and Hangman?
Okay, Danielson is
Okay, I'm
I
sorry,
used
I'll
to
shut
really
up.
enjoy
I'm
his work,
muting
and then
myself.
I've grown to appreciate it less and less because he just seems like a psychopath who wants to hurt himself more than he wants to be able to hold his kids when he's older. But anyways, but Danielson like spoke or understood a little bit of Spanish. I kind of popped for that because I want to call him Generico because they look the same.
Sami Zayn.
But, no,
Sami Zayn was
the guy who was
at
at Sami Zayn, Excalibur, was like, I wish you were here when Hangman was doing his promo because Hangman had to translate the whole promo by himself, and he could have he didn't know the other people worked in the company that also spoke Spanish that could have helped him out. Anyways, I personally really enjoy Hangman. I think he's a great champ as far as like delivering on good matches. And I don't get that in WWE, but Hangman, like he comes out there and he says, when he says something like, you're going to do your best and it won't be enough, he has the weight behind him of like the swerve matches, the Mox match. In his first reign, he had these really brutal matches. Like he did a whatever it is, the reverse tombstone thing on Adam Cole, but Adam Cole had the barbed wire around the head like a Jesus thing.
Oh, the dead eye.
The dead eye. Yeah. Like he's done this stuff and it's like this guy, he's selling. Like I enjoy the whole character arc of everything he's done, but also as champ, he's really sold to me. Like the match is going to go a while and they're going to beat the holy hell out of each other. And he's going to stand there and say, I'm tougher than you. I know I'm tougher because I've done all this stuff. And, I wish you luck recovering the next day. That worked with me. And then Fletcher proved himself. Like, I think today on Dynamite when Fletcher came out and just said it out loud, like, I didn't win, but I proved that I blah, blah, blah. Like, he just announced, he made the subtext, the overt message. I thought that was really fucking lame. Like, come on. But I enjoyed that match. I think they had a great match, and I'm really enjoying Hangman as champ because I enjoy those matches. They're going to beat the hell out of each other. Also, I really popped for Hologram putting on the orange sunglasses in the promo. That was fun. Like, I enjoy that silly stuff. Are we doing drops yet?
No, we'll get there. Anybody else got a pop first of all? Jimmy, you got a pop?
I got a pop, and I'm going to keep it short since
Byron
definitely no one under 2 minutes. My pop, Edge doing the 5-knuckle shuffle and the attitude adjustment during his match as a retort to Cena doing the spear. Pop.
I agree. I love it.
That was really nice.
Me, if you got anything, brother?
My pop, I just was, I was remotely seeing Matt Cardona on NXT. There you go. It was nice on WWE TV.
I love seeing that as well. I love the pop you got.
Yeah. Oh no! How about this?
Jesus,
we're talking about WrestleMania.
Yeah.
We're talking about Wrestlepalooza and all the stuff. Yeah, hi. I got 17 minutes of a 2-minute take. We were talking about Cena and Wrestlepalooza and all this other dumb bullshit that doesn't fucking matter. The NXT closing segment with TNA running in.
Yeah.
And pretty much anything else in NXT, way more entertaining and engaging than anything on WWE TV. How about that closing segment? Someone else talk.
Weren't
now.
you the guy that just told us the other day that you haven't watched NXT in like
NXT.
4 years?
I'm doing homework, and I saw a clip of Ricky Saints.
We brought up Thea Hale. Byron says, "Who's Thea Hale?" And I
brought her up. She's some idiot. He
right. I'm
doesn't know
sorry.
what a computer
Byron
is.
brought her up and then said, "I don't know who that is." And then
No,
we
but check this
said,
out.
she's only been at NXT for like 4 years, brother.
That's fair.
Since she
Also,
was like 18 years old. She wrestled
fair
Thunder
critique.
Rosa and AEW Dark and then went to NXT and then like is been like a star, but she's only 22 years old. And Byron's like, "Who is Thea Hale?" And we're like, "Oh my God, bro."
I didn't
I like
say
the fact that
NXT.
Byron doesn't understand that 22-year-olds don't understand how anything works anymore. It's like he thought, he was like, "Oh, she's acting like a 50-year-old." No, she's acting like a 22-year-old girl.
They don't know
Yeah.
the computer.
I'm pretty sure it was a
Gen
joke
Z.
anyway.
By the way, I'd like to point out the irony of that segment worked great at the end of NXT, but the irony is that all the majority of those TNA superstars all live in Orlando because they all used to work at NXT.
NXT.
Yeah.
That's a great point. I also, you guys were talking about this, and I'm going to bring this up.
Did he just do a double also?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they do
No,
that, and then they do the NXT title gimmick where Starks comes out and looks at it and humps the table. He fucked the table, right?
He did.
And then,
Well,
and
actually,
then,
he didn't really. It was more because they didn't clock
He was-
Oba on the other
Yeah.
side trying to pull himself up. Because
Yeah.
bad camera work, it's happened all weekend. Continue.
but you
Yeah.
guys told me how blown up he was, and then the only thing I could think of it in that bit where Ricky and him are facing off. Ricky's acting tough and acting like the challenger, and Oba looks like he's just trying to fucking breathe in the entire bit. He's a big dude. You need a lot of oxygen for all those muscles.
Somebody should have ran him an inhaler, brother.
Yeah. Anyways, that
All
was
right, what's
the
your
best
drop,
thing
Byron?
WWE did.
You're already talking. Why don't you just go ahead and give us your drop of the week while you're
And
talking?
please use furthermore or moreover instead of also.
Moreover, I think that Seth and Cody on TV together is fucking lame and stupid. Saw it 1,000 times.
Seth Rollins
I don't want to see Brandy fight. Respectfully, I don't want to see Brandy fight Becky. You know, that's the only new thing they could do. And I also not a big fan of going back to Jungle Boy. I get it, it's fun, and they get to play the song again. I hope Jack does some of the scapegoat stuff still. And then what else? There's been Gail Kim talked some stuff. She said some stuff about Riho, and it's turning into a tribalistic or anti, or whatever. Everyone's trying to turn it into a thing. I don't think it's a thing. I think she has valid points. I think Kenny defending Rio had valid points. It's just, Gail Kim isn't too familiar with all that stuff, and she watched like someone briefly and saw like there's certain camera angles, whatever. She had issues with it. It's just, anyways. You brought up Zelina Vega earlier, and I wrote it down.
No, it's valid, and it's funny because I listened to Mark Henry on Busted Open today, and he had like the super opposite takes from everybody in the world. He loved Mercedes and Rio.
I love Mercedes,
and he
big,
loved
Justin.
He
Big
loved
screen.
Konosuke. He loved
Big screen you.
No, I'm just, and he loved Konosuke and Okada and Dorada. Which was not bad. It was.
Also,
when he talked
think
about
Raja Jackson's in the wrong. So,
well,
I enjoyed all the AEW matches. I enjoyed them all. It was too much for me to like specifically remember.
I could have done without the Eddie Kingston match. It didn't do anything for me. I like Eddie Kingston. I'm a big fan, but
yeah,
I had no place
that
on
was
that show.
It didn't feel like it was time, like it needed to happen at that moment. But also the first two matches of the AEW. They're four
known as
they're heretofore. The first two matches of the AEW pay-per-view had
Byron,
but they had post-match gimmicks that covered them up.
You just shut the fuck up for 1 second, Byron. I know it's difficult. So Tony,
it is difficult.
The show, I don't know if Byron, Justin's ever told you, it used to go for 5 hours.
Yeah, I think we're about my limit here, but
we're getting there. That's why my
we're
drop is
so
gonna be 2
there.
seconds.
We're so there.
Yes.
All right, Jimmy, give me your drop.
I have a tie for my drop. 1, stop this counter programming. There was too much goddamn wrestling on Saturday. I love wrestling. Too much wrestling. I started watching from the tailgate hour or whatever all the way to the end of Wrestlepalooza.
Dear Lord.
Half of that was on my phone because I was on my way to go to the USC game. So it was a long ass day. And I just want one event. That's all I need. The other drop, Pac's haircut.
Pac's haircut. Interesting. I like that. I like that as a drop. Some people think that would as a pop, but I like that as a drop. All right, Meefloaf, you got one? You got a drop?
I've already attacked Daniel Bryan, so I'll leave him off. Just piggybacking off the back of Jim's. WWE, stop this counter programming, like you said, because AEW will at some point do something, and it's going to hurt you.
I think they already did.
Crazy. Yeah,
I think this was the start of it.
But because what it's done. This is my brain switched back in. Then is AEW might have found a really good spot in the time of day for them. That's good for everybody.
You are correct. You are absolutely correct. Yes.
And I agree with that.
That's a nice time of the day on a Saturday. Whenever,
Oh my God.
Because there's
people
really
come
nothing
in and
else
out
on
of it,
TV
too.
on a Saturday, and I don't have to go out. I will go out at night when WWE is putting their shows. I like really. I'm not 75. I don't know how old you guys are. Anyways, I'm kidding. I still want to go out on a Saturday night, right? So if you put the show on Saturday okay, don't do it 5 hours, but yeah,
But if it's gonna be 5 hours, better 5 hours in the middle of the afternoon on Saturday. I can come in and out. I can go mow the lawn during the Eddie Kingston match and come back and still enjoy wrestling for the rest of the afternoon, or do what Byron and Casey did: pause for a little bit and come back. It was a good spot for a show for them.
and
It's nice when it doesn't end at 1 a.m. in Cleveland.
Correct.
Well, the other thing is, in England, it's obviously a bit convoluted to get hold of it, and it's basically subscription based. You have to buy things. It finishes maybe, I was going to say 10 or 12 at night, rather than having to get up at 1 o'clock in the morning, whatever. So rather than being up till 6 a.m., you're done at midnight. So
sweet.
Internationally, it just makes sense.
Tony, you're still in the big box. What's your drop?
I know. Yes, Wrestlepalooza was whatever. Except for the Stephanie winning, that it was just could not care. I mean, was it like a Raw? I don't know. It was really bad. Also, and I know this is gonna be bring different. Andrade getting fired was a bullshit. People have done worse, and it's just another Mexican not getting a job, and I didn't like that. Yeah, it's just I find bullshit. He's doing well, I guess, because he's already had a whole bunch of indies, but I think that was.
He's at the Crash, isn't he?
He's doing the Crash.
He's in the Crash, and he's doing something in Chicago. So yeah, he's an amazing wrestler. I mean,
yeah.
They just I just think they put him in a bullshit situation when they did the AAA announcement. I mean, and I understand you have to play ball with the company you're working with, but also, don't come out of nowhere and put me on the spot, and I have to pretend that I'm happy there. You can see it was turning and twisting.
I don't think they knew what to do with him. I think they didn't really have a good plan when they hired him in the first place. I think he's an amazing.
My favorite person. We haven't seen my favorite person in months.
I feel like we all have friends here who are rehired and not put in great situations.
Where is?
Is that a drop? Is that?
Oh,
you cut your hair,
solid,
It's funny. It's funny though, Puck. Especially it stood out in the Death Rider when the Death Rider angle happened, and they all went to streetwear, and you'd see them wearing clothes like riding in the back of a truck, or you see them standing in a desert and blah blah blah. All these different things. Puck was always in tights and wet hair in every situation.
Like everybody came in street clothes or a suit, and Pac was still in his wrestling gear with the wet hair all the time. So maybe this will help things.
But you don't recognize him now. He He's wearing
Yeah, but
a
it's
shirt.
like, I don't know, but I feel like he could put on a suit and go be Jamie Noble as like a producer over at WWE with
That's
his
true.
haircut. I don't know.
But to Tony's point as well, the heretofore also because you look at what Andrade did and you multiply by 10 and then you go, does this compare to anything Randy Orton did when he was under 30 years old?
Was Randy Orton Mexican?
Correct.
No, Randy Orton was a third generation white superstar loved by Vince McMahon.
Well,
True.
So
All right, I'm going to give you my drop, Byron. Are
should
you
I
ready for
start
my drop?
talking?
I'm asking you specifically, Byron. Are you ready for my drop? My drop of the week
Yes.
is AJ Lee. I don't get it. I didn't watch a lot of WWE when AJ Lee was a thing. I think the majority of AJ Lee's wrestling that I've seen was probably on the 5 episodes of Total Divas that I've watched when she was kind of a background thing when the other girls were having storylines. I don't know. But I appreciate that other people appreciated her. I don't like to yuck somebody else's yums. Lots of people like AJ Lee, so I said in my mind, okay, AJ Lee's a thing. She must be pretty cool. A lot of people like her. I just didn't watch a lot then. If whatever was going on in that mixed tag match is any indication of what I was missing, I'm glad I missed it. She's fucking horrible. She
Definitely
is
not.
drizzling.
It's definitely not how she is.
Okay, well, ring rust is a real thing.
I haven't seen the whole thing, but I think yes, I do remember her wrestling. It was a lot better than that.
Well, whatever happened in that match just was slow. It was off-paced. It was getting nostalgia pops, which I guess is fine.
It was 30 minutes long.
It was but that is my other problem with it. It's
the longest match of the night.
The longest match of the night. You're putting your most ring rusted, least qualified person out there, and it's showing left and right. And I maybe I'm wrong on this drop. This is a drop for me. I just didn't personally like it. It did not work for me. AJ Lee did not look like she belonged in a professional wrestling ring in any company, TNA level or above. Maybe I could have stomached that match in NWA. I don't know. That match just wasn't it for me, and I don't see the appeal of AJ Lee. And CM Punk, I'm a huge CM Punk fan. I have no issue with CM Punk. I just don't know much about AJ Lee, and this was not the introduction they wanted me to have. And I'm here to tell you, I'm a wrestling fan. I watch a lot of wrestling. I happen to have not watched that particular time period, but if I don't know that much about her, there's a lot of other casual fans that were watching that pay-per-view for the first time on ESPN with all this hype that did not know who AJ Lee was, and that was not the look to give that poor woman. I think that was a huge, huge miss on WWE's part. But I will say this. I didn't have too much issue with the ESPN app. I know some people did have issues with it. I feel like this is all getting easier. I think AEW being in the HBO app is easier for a lot of people, even though I still think it should be included in the price. I was able to get the ESPN app and hook it up through my mom's cable to get it for free through my Apple ID, or my Disney ID, which I'm actually paying for Hulu and Disney through, but somehow I was able to just do that. And actually, I think I can make Hulu and Disney also free through that now. So I might be one of those rare few people that's actually going to pay less for wrestling now than I was paying before when I had, Peacock and Hulu and Sling, and I might actually be paying less or just logging into Tony's VPN.
I was going to say, everybody in America, listen to me right now. Use a fucking VPN. Somewhere in the world, wrestling is free. You just have to find that country.
I think that's the perfect place to end it all. And so
we need
until
a VPN
next time,
sponsor.
Oh, Jesus Christ, we don't. Byron. We don't, we don't need you to say VPN, anything else ever again, ever.
I have something to say.
Byron, what is it that you have to say, Byron?
Penis.
Is that really what you have to say? Until next time, stay calm and stay